All right, so welcome to our call. We are going to be talking all things Instagram today. And it's been a while since I've done a call like this with the Shine Tribe. So I kind of invited a couple other awesome people, anybody who wanted to join for this because there's a lot. So what I want to cover, let me give you an overview and then we'll dive into the details. I really want to try and give a very comprehensive training on how to use Instagram to drive business to you. So not just how to make a pretty feed, not just how to find people, but how it kind of all works together to bring customers to you and how to use all the components, because Instagram used to just be photos. And now it's photos and it's stories and it's highlight reels and it's Instagram Live and it's Instagram TV, and there's like all the things on Instagram. And so there's like polls and questions, and it's awesome. Actually, it's really good for us as entrepreneurs. But I kind of want to give you guys a bigger picture of how we can use all of these things for the sole purpose of driving it all towards getting new clients, finding people that we connect with, finding people that we can help and serve and interact with. So we're going to start with the very beginning, what most people are going to see when they first come to us, our profile. So I'm going to pull up a sample profile and then I'm going to screen share with you guys so you can see it and we can talk about all the things that make a good profile. Here we go. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Yes? Okay, so I'm just gonna share my profile and then I'm gonna share Becca's because those are just the two easiest ones, but I'm sure all of you guys have great profiles as well, but I'm just gonna go through what would make a really great profile. First thing you wanna have is a good clean photo of your face. I think this is really important. I think having photos of like our whole family is awesome, but it's hard to pick out who you are sometimes in that picture if it's very far away. Having a picture of your dog is super cute, but if this is your business and your storefront, I really think it's important that your face is easily seen and clear and close up-ish. Doesn't have to be super close, but at least close enough that people can get a general likeness of who you are. In your little description, you only have a certain amount of characters available to you, but you can use it for making it really quick, to the point info on you. Something that would give people a good idea of who you are. I think you should put in there that you're a fitness coach or a wellness coach or a health coach. I think it should not take people a long time to figure out who you are and what you're doing, because if this is something that they are looking for, if they need help with their health and fitness goals, I think it should be really apparent very quickly that this is something you can help them with. So definitely make that clear. And then your link. You only have one link, and this is the only place you can put a link in Instagram unless you have over 10,000 followers, when you can put links in your stories. But for all intents and purposes, this is your one spot. So you want to use it wisely and use it well. I recommend that you use Linktree. I'm sure there are other services that do a similar thing, but I use Linktree and I think it's the easiest one to use. When people click on your Linktree, you can have a few different options. If you don't know what Linktree is, it's a service that you sign up for, you connect it to your Instagram, and when they click on it, it takes them to a page that shows them lots of different links for them to follow you on. So bear with me for a second. I'm gonna try and find, where did I put it? You know what, I don't know if I put it in here. Oh, here we go, right there. So in your Linktree, you can put a lot of different kinds of options. This is the one that I chose. It is just kind of a simple black and white. You have lots of different colors you can pick from. So when they click on my Linktree, this is where they're going to be taken, and I can put all different kinds of links, and I can change them whenever I want without having to change my actual link in my profile. Because when I go into Linktree, I can move these links around and edit them. If I have a special event coming up, I can make that one of the buttons. And so it's great to have. I personally have an application to my coaching. I also have a place where they can join one of my fitness groups. I think those two are incredibly important. If you don't have a place where you can host an application for people to apply to join you in your challenge groups or as a coach. I think the easiest one is to do Google Forms. It's very easy. Google will host it for you, and it's easy to set up. You ask just certain types of questions, things like their name, their email address, what their health and fitness goals are, if they're already working with another coach. You can just get some good information for them, and when they fill out that form, it will automatically email you so you can get back to them and you can start the dialogue to get them plugged in with you as a coach or a challenger. So I think those two applications are incredibly important to have in your Linktree, because whenever you're talking about it, you can just direct them. Go to the link in my profile and click on apply to my fitness group, if you want to join me. It's really easy to just streamline it so that people know exactly how to contact you if they want to be coached by you or if they want to join one of your fitness groups. You can also add things like any freemiums that you have. I have an e-course on morning routines that I have featured there, and I have a meal prep ebook that I have created as well. You don't have to have those things created, but if you do, that's a great place to put them. If you have a blog, if you have a YouTube channel, whatever you have that you are producing content on, you want to put that in your Linktree as well. So Linktrees are awesome. I really highly recommend you use that for your Instagram. I'm just going to show you guys also a quick picture of Becca's profile, because I think she obviously does a really great job as well. She has it a little bit different, where she kind of has little bullet points in her profile, which is great. Just really quick, to the point, letting people know that she is someone who can mentor, that she is someone who wants to help other people, and then she has her Linktree there as well. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about are highlights. Highlights are so great. If you don't know what highlights are, they're these little bubbles here, these little circular bubbles, and it's a place where you can save stories and you can categorize them. So I have one for my outfits of the day. That's that first one there. I have one for my kids' lunches, food, fitness, and on and on and on. Becca has a couple here: Coach Life, Better Babes, Good Stuff In. That's kind of like her personal development stuff, and so on and so forth. Here are some things. I'm actually looking to revamp my highlights right now, and here are some things that I think you should use your highlights for. I think you should definitely have a highlight bubble for your fitness mentorship. Think of this highlight bubble as almost like you're producing a video of a little film that you can do in little snippets. If you are familiar with stories, you know that they're about 15-second long snippets. And I would highly recommend having a highlight bubble that would say, My Fitness Mentorship, or Join My Fitness Group. When they click on that bubble, it can have a series of videos of either you verbally explaining what fitness mentorships are. If I was going to do something like this, I would start off with just an intro. Hi guys, my name is Vanessa Fernandez. I'm a health and fitness coach, and I offer fitness mentorships. Here I'm going to explain to you what they're all about. And then I can start saying these are virtual groups. We host them on Facebook or the My Challenge Tracker app. Whatever it is, you can verbally explain it. Or what I have found is more effective. I find that people tend to swipe through when you're just talking. But if you have a visual with text on it, people tend to stop and read it. They want to know what you're saying. So you can either verbally explain, or you can do it through text. So maybe have a picture of you working out and then a little text. I run fitness mentorship groups. The next slide can have, a picture of you maybe at a Super Saturday with a bunch of other people. This is a virtual place where we can all work out together, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of that bubble sequence, that highlight sequence, you want to have a call to action. You want to tell them, if you're interested in joining this fitness group, click the link in my profile because you have your Linktree set up, and click on Join My Fitness Challenge. So this gives them a great place right on your highlight bubbles to know that you offer fitness mentorships. They can watch a whole thing on what it is, and they know exactly what to do if they want to join. It's a great way to have that always front and center in people's view when they're looking at your Instagram account. And it keeps you from feeling like you have to always constantly be talking about your fitness groups in detail, because sometimes that can get tedious. You know that you have it always in your highlight bubble. And if you are doing your stories as per normal, and maybe you're working out and you're talking about your upcoming group, you can say, hey, check out my highlight bubble about my fitness groups. That's where I explain in more detail what they are and how you can join. So you're setting up these highlight bubbles as like a little place that always houses a full explanation of what your fitness challenge groups are, and you can reference back to it, and people can easily watch them, and that's where it will give them all the information that they need to know if this is something they want to do or not. So that's a great way to use your highlight reels. Doing one about your fitness mentorship, you should do one about your business mentorship. Have a highlight bubble that talks about what you offer as a coach, how you mentor other coaches, how you're building a team, how you have space for other coaches to join you, and how they can do that. I also think you should have a highlight bubble on transformations. This is a great place to post your transformations of people on your team, transformations of your challengers. I know when I was wanting to get in shape, I was like, I couldn't get enough of seeing transformations. I wanted to see every transformation possible. Here's what I was looking for. I was looking for a woman who had a body like me, a before picture that looked like me, and then had a transformation. I don't know about you guys. I needed to identify with someone who was in my place. Did someone like me with little kids, with a body type like me, with fat in the spaces that I had fat. I wanted to see a body that looked like mine and what was possible, that she was able to transform it in order for me to believe that I could. And so I think it's really important that we show transformations of all different body types, of all different people who have done all different kinds of programs. It's so encouraging. It's so hope building. And that's a great place to put it in your highlight bubble. Just pack them in. You know, Beachbody is always showing us the amazing transformations from different people doing different programs. And if we compile them and put them in our highlight bubble, it's just so helpful for people to be able to see what's possible. The last one that I recommend that you do in your highlight bubbles is your story. What is your story? Why are you a coach? Why do you believe in Beachbody? What transformation have you had? And again, it could be you just talking and doing stories that way. It could be pictures of you with text over it, sharing your story. I think people, if I'm coming to somebody's Instagram page and I've never seen them before, and I see a highlight bubble that says my transformation story, you better believe that's probably the first thing that I'm going to click on. That's probably the first thing that I'm going to want to watch. I want to know, who is this girl? What is her family life? Where does she live? What does she come from? What is she all about? Why is she a coach? I want to see it. And so I think that those are the 4 highlight bubbles that you should have: is something about your fitness mentorship, something about your business mentorship, transformations from all different body types, and then your personal story. In addition, you could do lots of other types of bubbles that kind of pertain to your personality. Maybe it's food that you love. Maybe it's an outfit of the day. I love to play around with fashion, so that's something that I like to throw in there. Maybe it's homeschooling or crafting or scrapbooking, or maybe you love fitness and you want to do one of fitness form and tips and things like that. You can have lots of fun with your highlight bubbles and really show your personality and show who you are through them. But I highly recommend that you utilize those, because that's just a great way to get people to know who you are through that. Okay, so speaking of stories, I do want to show you guys an app that I love, and it's called Upfold. Or no, not Upfold. I always mess this up. Unfold. It's called Unfold. Unfold is an app that you can find in the App Store. And this is the only screenshot that I have of it. But basically, you can create Instagram stories ahead of time and then download them into your photo app and then upload them into your stories. You know, when you go into your stories, you can just swipe up and then select photos that you recently took. Unfold allows you to create the story graphics ahead of time. And what you see here are different groupings of stories that I have created. So I have one grouping when I click on Coach Sneak Peek, there's a whole series of stories that I've created kind of telling my coaching journey. And so when I tap on that, I see them all there. I can download the entire sequence and then upload the entire sequence into my stories on Instagram. And it's really nice because I love to be able to see the whole story unfold before me before I actually upload it into Instagram. It's like a way to preview. How does this story flow? You know, sometimes in stories it can be a little disjointed if you're not careful and if you don't kind of have a narrative played out in your mind of like, okay, first I want to share this, then I want to talk about the community, so I want to find a picture from Summit or whatever. You can kind of just plan it all out. I have different types of things. I have one on nutrition down here, you can see, just a whole like day of meals. Sometimes I might want to post about that. And so this is just a great app, Unfold, where you could even, especially if you're doing a highlight bubble, like I was just saying on what a fitness challenge is, you know, you can create the whole sequence of stories in Unfold and then upload it into your photos and then throw it up into your highlight bubble. It's just a great way to be really intentional with your stories. And if they look really pretty, Unfold is a really pretty app that allows you to have like really pretty text and you can play around with all sorts of stuff. Okay, so that's stories. Next, I want to talk about your actual grid, and I am going to share with you guys an app that I just love. Actually, let me just check the chat for a minute. If you guys, yes, I think you can use other coaches' transformations if they have been shared through Beachbody. Because if they've shared it through Beachbody, then they have given permission that their transformations can be shown and attributed to Beachbody's programs. So that's been my understanding. If you guys know differently, please let me know, but that's been my understanding. So I love this app. It's called Planoly. Planoly is another way that you can plan ahead with your Instagram account. And this is just a screenshot that I took of my Planoly. The photos that you see with the little U on them have been unpublished. So those are not on my Instagram feed right now, but I've uploaded them into Planoly because I want to see how they look connected with the rest of my feed. So all these photos down here that have no little U next to them, those are in my Instagram feed right now as it is. If you go to my Instagram, you're gonna see all these photos down here. But I like to see, well, my new photos, do they flow with what I already have? And I wasn't able to get the video up here, but there's a little video I did in my team page. Maybe I'll share it with everybody on the business corner. But you can drag and drop these photos. You can move them around. You can play with them to get them to look just how you want. And I love that because sometimes I just upload photos randomly and then I go to my Instagram grid and I'm like, this looks such a mess and so crazy and disjointed and I don't know if this is how I want it to look. And so this allows me to preview my feed before I actually get it. Another thing that I love about Planoly is that I can put the, what I want to say, the text, I can put it, I can type it in ahead of time. I can schedule it for whenever I want to schedule it. I could schedule out a whole month of content if I wanted to, and it will just pop up on my phone, a little reminder, hey, you have a post that's scheduled to go out today at 9 o'clock. And if I want to post it, I just say, okay, go ahead and post, and then it goes out. Another great thing about Planoly is that you can put your hashtags in ahead of time. So they have a whole hashtags manager. I don't know why this one is bigger than all the rest, but they have a whole hashtags manager where you can actually upload hashtags and categorize them. So you guys can see I have like hashtags for inspiration, hashtags for food. If I'm doing a post on parenting or wanting to be vulnerable or fashion, I can populate all these hashtags, up to 30 hashtags you can have for each post. And then when I want to add them, I just click this little add, boop, and it automatically goes into my post. So that is super convenient because you know that you should put hashtags so that people can find your posts, but man, it's so hard sometimes to remember and to think of all the different ones. And so if they're already saved, if you've already done the work, you can just add them in whenever you need to. The last thing that I love about Planoly is when you're adding in a photo, you can either do it from your albums or you can do it from placeholder. Placeholder is super cool if you don't have the photo yet, but you know what you want to post about. For example, let's say that I want to post about coaching. So here you can see I put a little coaching placeholder. When you click placeholder, you can just choose a blank square, and then you type in what you want that post to be about. Let's say I want to do a post about coaching. Then I can put it here. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but do you see that little white, I think it's gonna come up here in just a minute. Yeah. So you see this little white square that says coaching. I just threw that into my feed. Now, obviously, eventually I'm gonna take an actual picture and actually write something about coaching, but at least it lets me know, hey, remember, you wanna post about coaching on Thursday. Go out and take a photo that will help you illustrate what you want to say about coaching. And so you can do that with anything. You can put, I want to put a food post today, or I want to put a post about my dog on Friday. Whatever it is, I love that Planoly allows you, even if you don't have the photo yet, even if you don't have the words yet, you can put a placeholder to remind you and to get the creative juices flowing. Like, okay, I know I want to post about coaching tomorrow. What photo can I take? And you can kind of just start thinking about it. And it just makes it more intentional without having to actually have the content. Awesome. Yeah, okay, so there are other apps that can do this as well. Planoly, Plan, and it's so great to be able to have that. So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is Color Story. And I don't know, yeah, here we go. Color Story is an app that I use to make my photos all kind of look similar. So here's the front part of Color Story. And in Color Story, I have, there's different filters, which Instagram has its own filters as well, but I find that Color Story gives me a lot more options. And I have one filter, Amethyst, that is my filter that I use on every single photo that I have in my Instagram. And it really does make all of the photos look really cohesive. If you guys can see, and I am not the best at this, I've only recently become better at it, but you can see that not quite up to Becca's standards, but my feed is looking a lot more cohesive than it ever has before because I'm using Color Story and I'm adding in that filter on top of every single photo that I use. So you can use a variety of apps. I just like Color Story, and that way it just really keeps your feed looking nice, looking fresh, looking inviting and beautiful. Okay, so that I think is all the visual stuff that I wanted to get to. Oh, thanks, Joanna. I'm working on it. It's been a long journey. So that is kind of how to get your profile looking well, how to use your highlight reels or your highlight bubbles, how to get your feed to be planned out well and looking nice. The last thing I want to talk about is how to find people on Instagram. So you could have the most beautiful feed with all your highlight bubbles lined up, your link trees set up, you've got applications, everything is ready for the masses to come and just want to work with you. But how do we get traffic to come in? So here's what I've been doing and been loving. And when I'm done, I'm going to turn it over to Charlene because she's also been taking some classes on Instagram and hashtags and all that fun stuff. And I think there's just always great things that we can do to learn. But I've been using hashtags to search for people. So I use hashtags for people who might want to search for me. And then I use hashtags so I can search for other people. I do not use fitness hashtags at all, ever, because that just doesn't work. I personally believe that if someone is actually searching for a fitness person to help them, there are so many fitness accounts that have literally almost millions of followers. Nobody's going to find little old me if they're searching for fitness help. Nobody is going to work with little old me if they're searching for fitness stuff. My goal is to find people before they're actually searching for fitness help. My goal is to connect with women on other levels and then live my fitness life and draw them in to want to make some changes in their own fitness. because I feel like that is going to be a more natural way. Like when I am actually meeting people in real life, I'm not meeting them because I'm a fitness instructor, because I'm not. Ioana is, but I personally am not. And so I would never meet someone as a fitness influencer in real life. I would meet them at a park. I'd meet them at my kids' school. I would meet them at a grocery store. I would meet them in all different other places. And so I feel like that's the same strategy on Instagram. I'm going to meet people in other areas, and then as we become friends, as they get to know me, they're going to see the fitness stuff that I do. And I'm going to be able to say, hey girl, I know that you've got 4 kids like me. I know that you love fashion like me. I know that sometimes it's hard if your weight is fluctuating to enjoy fashion. Hey, I'm starting a new group. Do you want to join me? Do you want to, get some more information about this? And so I've connected with her in other places, but as I draw her into relationship with me, I'm going to offer her to join me in my fitness challenges. So my hashtags are going to be actually not fitness focused, but other hobby focus. Things like fashion, things like, and this is just for me, you guys can find your own, but things like fashion, things like small children, raising children, traveling the world with children, whatever it is that I am into. And I really would encourage you, this is a great place to figure out, what do you love outside of Beachbody? What are you interested in outside of Beachbody? It's college football season. Any college football fans out there, like there are so many things that we are, Marlena, I know. There are so many things that we are outside of Beachbody. And if you are connecting with people on those things, building trust with them in those areas, it's so much easier to say, hey, do you want to do like a football themed fitness group with me? Because I don't know about you, but sitting on my butt eating football snacks every Saturday is not working out well for me. What if we did exercises for different commercials? We did like a push-up challenge during halftime. There are so many creative ways that you can connect other things that you love with fitness. And someone who loves college football and loves sitting on their butt and eating nachos all Saturday, what is the likelihood that they're actually going to look up, how do I get rock hard abs? Let me find an Instagram influencer with 1 million followers and do their boot camp. No, but they're going to connect with Marlena or with me and become friends. And then if I connect with them, I can invite them into a fitness challenge and they'll be like, you know what? Sure, why not? I haven't, been feeling so great or this or that. So my goal is to really connect with people before they're even searching for fitness stuff, because the majority of people aren't. Majority of people aren't going to actually seek out someone to help them with their fitness. But if they're friends with you and you're doing it, they might be like, hey, she's got 4 kids. She loves college football. She loves a good plate of nachos. Why not? If she can do it, so can I. Little Miss Rock Hard Abs fitness model over here on Instagram, I don't connect with her. I'm not going to seek her out, but maybe I'm going to connect with one of these real people who are also Beachbody coaches. Does that make sense? Okay, so you can use hashtags to find other people, but guys, there's so much more that you can use than just hashtags to find other people. You can go to online boutiques that sell clothes that you love. There's this one online Instagram, like clothing, whatever, in-person company that I love, and they're launching their new fall line, and I'm like following them hardcore every day, all day. And I was like, you know what? If there are other girls who are following this account, then they're probably my people. And I literally went into their followers, found the first person who had stories, which you can see around their profile, like that little colorful ring. That means that they have like stories. That's the people that I'm prioritizing, because I feel like they're going to watch my stories. If they do stories, they're going to watch my stories, and that's where I'm really able to share who I am. So I find the first person with stories, I click on her, guess what? She's like a hippie, crunchy, homeschooling mom of 4. I'm like, hello, how perfect is this? And I just went to the clothing line that I love and went to their followers. I didn't have to do any hashtag searching, because I already know we have a connection, right? Like if you love this clothing line, I mean, we have to be friends, because, maybe it's a TV show. Maybe it's an actor. Maybe it's a football team. Maybe it's a comedian. There's so many other things other than even hashtags that you can go and find people who have shared interests, that you can connect with them. Once you find them, here's what I recommend. Follow them. Well, first, browse their feed, right? Don't do this without thinking. Browse their feed. Take a look at who they are. Are they a cool person? Are they a weirdo? Like, you don't want to be connecting with too many weirdos. So just take a minute, look at their feed, follow them, and comment on at least one of their recent photos. I wouldn't recommend just liking a bunch of stuff. I haven't found that to be super effective. But if I actually go in and make a thoughtful comment, like, for example, this girl who's a homeschooling mom had this picture of her son with a puppy. And I was just like, I just commented like as if she was my best friend. I was like, stop it. This is too cute. I'm like totally wanting a puppy and my kids, aren't old enough yet and I'm not ready for it, but you are like killing me with these puppy pictures. So cute. Adorable. And she commented back. She was like, I know we probably shouldn't have gotten one either because our kids are young too, but I just couldn't help it, whatever. And we just started chit-chatting over this one comment. And now she follows me. And I'm watching her stories and I'm commenting on her banana bread that she made. And I'm telling her that I just made mine. And I'm sending her the link to my blog because I have it on recipe on my blog. And like this one girl who I found because of a clothing line that we liked, now we're chit-chatting all the time on Instagram. And now if I were to invite her to my fitness challenge, which is starting up in a week or two, do you think she would be like, oh my gosh, cold invite, like totally rude. This girl is all up in my DMs and I don't know who she is. No, she'd be like, oh my gosh, this is Vanessa who has 4 kids and who wants a puppy but can't have one and who sent me a recipe to her pumpkin bread. And I'm like, even if she never joins my challenge group, she's a super cool girl. And I'm like, glad I'm following her. This is the point, I think, of Instagram connections, is not just how many people can I follow and like, and then shoot them off a DM as quick as possible and cold invite them to my group. It's how can I find cool people that I really connect with and we can have meaningful conversation and relationships here and I can offer them something really great that might serve them and help them and change their lives like it's changed mine. That's the point. And I think all of these things, from having the application in your link tree and having your profile really clean and having everything, this is the ultimate point, is to find people, connect with people, and be someone who they can know, like, and trust so that we can work together and have them in our groups and so on and so forth. So that's it. That's what I have. I'm going to turn it over to Charlene, and she's going to talk a little bit more about hashtags and how to find your right ones and all that good stuff.
If I can find my unmute button. Sorry. What's up, guys? All right, first of all, don't go check out my Instagram feed because I haven't strategized or organized it just yet, but I'm determined to be an expert at Instagram by the end of the year. I'm in the middle of my classes, so don't be like, oh, Charlene knows what she's talking about. I'm going to go look at her feed, and it's just a disaster. So, okay, so first things first, Vanessa is so right. I loved how you were touching on all of those different things about being specific in your hashtag strategy, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight. So the first thing is you can plan out your hashtags, and I've never really thought of it this way, and I know that might sound really weird, but usually I'm just kind of trying to come up with hashtags by the seat of my pants, and obviously that's not a smart thing to do. By using, the app that Vanessa uses, I use a different one, it's called Plan. You can strategize how you're going to use hashtags. And what I love about this is that I was able to do a lot more research. And so that's kind of currently the process that I'm in right now, is all of the different research of the hashtags that I want to use. So it's really cool. You can map out the hashtags that you'll use for future. And what's really cool about those apps is that you can save them. So you're always going to be talking about certain topics that relate to you. So something that relates to me is like, I'm a Colorado girl. I love to go hiking and camping and fishing and all of those things. Like, I'm a good old country bumpkin. So I'm going to find people in my niche that relate to me. So I end up, you guys can totally, you know what I'll do is I will make one of these and I will just put it in the Shine Tribe tomorrow. And then that way everybody can have one. But basically, it's just a thing that I mapped out my tags. So I just wrote down the categories of things that relate to me. So my categories are like Colorado girl, country girl, stay-at-home mom, a woman of God, nutrition and 2B mindset, since I'm going to get certified in that, and fitness. But as Vanessa was talking about, you don't want to just type in hashtag fitness, because that kind of makes you a small fish in a giant pond, right? So you don't want to be like just this itty bitty Charlene fella swimming through this giant ocean of people who are into fitness. So kind of just narrow it down. So instead of using, fitness, I use things like boy mom, girl mom, stay-at-home mom, moms that love camping, strong-willed children, explore Colorado, adventurous, things that are more about me, because those are the kind of people that you want to find. And as Vanessa said, you want to find those people before they start their own fitness journey, before they're into, other things. You want to find people that will relate to you so you can build a friendship. You can build a bond with them other than just randomly saying, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach. I would love for you to join one of my challenge groups. And they have no idea who you are. And they're like, no, I'm good. Thanks for trying to, sell me on stuff. So, as Vanessa was talking about that, was it Plannery? Is that what your app was called?
Planoly.
Planoly. I use one, it's called Plan, and it's literally the exact same thing. It's spelled Plann, and it's really cool because you can literally strategize how your grid is going to look and, just start planning your post and start figuring out where you want to put your pictures and how you kind of want to strategize the way it's going to look so that you can attract more people. And they're like, oh, this girl kind of knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. And you can see in your grid all the things that relate to you. So whenever people are going to look at my future Instagram, not my Instagram that's right now, they'll see that, like I live in Colorado, and they'll see, that I love to camp and that I love to hike, but they'll also see, that I'm really into 2B mindset and that I'm also into these certain Beachbody programs. This is what I do for a living, and so on and so forth. There is also this thing. This is a pro tip. So you guys might want to write this down. If you don't have these apps or you don't want to download them just yet, you can also do a keyboard shortcut so that you don't constantly have to be typing in your hashtags, because that takes forever. So you can actually put this in your keyboard and make it a shortcut so you can just type in a short phrase and all of those hashtags will pop up for you. You're only allowed 30 hashtags per post, so you want to make sure that it counts, that you're not just like writing a bunch of random stuff. Like you really want it to be, in specific to what you're trying to, what you're trying to say in that post. So if you go to, this is what you're going to want to write down. If you go to your settings app, you can tap general, then you'll tap on keyboard, then you'll tap on text replacement, and then in the top right hand corner there'll be a plus sign, and then in the phrase field you'll type the entire phrase you'd like to create the shortcut for, and then that's it. So you'll just type in, like, I don't know, mine was like #1, #2, #3, or whatever your hashtag is for. So you could do #Colorado, for example, and then it'll pop up all of your hashtags for that specific category. So I hope that makes sense. And I did take a picture of it. It is in the Shine Tribe, so if you guys want to check that out, it's there. Let me see. I think That's it. I know Vanessa really touched on like using your hashtags intentionally. So you want to be able to connect with your ideal clients. So people that you don't even know yet. But you also want to hashtag for your current, like your current clientele, like the people that you have following you right now. How are you serving them? Because it's not necessarily about how many followers you have. You really want to think about, okay, am I serving a purpose for my post for the people that are following me right now? How am I helping those people right now? And those people that are currently following you, they're still, looking up hashtags. So what are they looking up? What are they searching for? Are they searching for meal plans? Are they searching for people who are stay-at-home moms? Are they, what are they searching for? So make sure that you're also helping out the people that are already following you, because those are the people that you're creating content for. Like, you want them to continue following you. So just make sure that you're using your hashtags intentionally, and that you're reaching out people to, that are also in your community. Just people that are already in your field and that you're already serving. So I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
Thanks, Charlene. That was so good. I always, just to close, I always try to ask myself, why would someone follow me who doesn't know me? Why the heck would anybody follow me if they don't know me? And then I ask myself, why do I follow other people? There's this one girl that I follow. I found her because I was searching hashtag pixie cut, because I was going to cut my hair short. So I searched on Instagram, hashtag pixie cut. She had a really cute pixie cut. So I clicked on her picture, and I saw that she also does like beauty tips. So she'll feature different products. She does her makeup sometimes on stories, and it's entertaining to me, right? Like, I want to know how to do my makeup better. Also, she has her degree in early developmental research. So she shares a lot of parenting tips. She shares like stuff about how to help your young kids with big transitions in life, and how to talk to your kids about suicide or difficult issues that they might face. So I started following her because I was just looking for a good picture to show my hairstylist. But she provides so much value that I keep following her, because whenever she has a new story, I'm like, ooh, this is either going to be a makeup tip, which I want, or parenting help, which I want. And guess what? She is also a network marketer, and she has a very successful network marketing business. And if I wasn't a part of Beachbody and I didn't have my own whole thing, I'd probably ask her, what do you do? And do you think you could train me to do it too? But that's not why I was looking for her. If all she posted about was her network marketing business, I would have never found her. And if I did find her, I would have never kept following her. I'm just being honest. I follow her because she provides value outside of her network marketing business. Now, I know about it because she does post about it from time to time, and she does, feature some of her particular business has to do with makeup. Not all the products she uses are from that company. So she shows how to use all sorts of products, but then she features in her company's products here and there as she's doing her makeup. So I don't feel like I could never do my makeup unless I buy all her stuff. I feel like, I could do her makeup regardless, but I am kind of curious about that one cream that she used and whatever. So she is just such a great, very skilled on Instagram. And so just keep that in mind. Like, why do you follow the people you follow? Charlene says she searches for moms with tattoos. Like I never hashtag moms with tattoos, but I should, because I have them and I think they're awesome. And I think other moms would want to see them, and they might find me for that. Not looking for fitness at all. But after we've already connected, maybe they're interested. Maybe they're curious. Maybe as I'm featuring different workouts that I'm doing, they want to know more. I really think as entrepreneurs, we have to think, what are we giving people when they're coming to our Instagram? Because if all it is sell, Beachbody, 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 unless someone's actually looking for Beachbody, which at that point, take your pick from 50 million coaches. Like, I don't want to be competing with 50 million coaches. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I think I'm a great coach, but I don't want to be competing with 50 million coaches. I want to connect with someone and give them value outside of Beachbody. And so that can be in so many different ways, guys. Meals, makeup, whatever. Like, so anyways, I think just keep that in mind. Look at your feed. Be honest with yourself. Why would someone follow me? Outside of Beachbody, am I offering any value whatsoever? And it's a hard thing to ask yourself, but I think it's super helpful because then you have something to build off of. Did you want to share?
I did. I'm so sorry. No, I also wanted to, I should have touched on this a little bit earlier, but you can also create your list of hashtags and head over to, I put the addresses or you can know what I'm trying to say, yes. The websites, I put them on there. But you can go to hashtagifyme.me and test them out, and it'll show you how popular that hashtag is, or it'll populate similar ones that work well in that list. So I thought that was actually super helpful for me because, you know, like I said, I search moms with tattoos, and then it'll pop up like all of these different lists of, you know, what else is on there.
That's great.
Yeah. And so it kind of just, it brings it more specific to your certain market. And there's also righttag.com, and it'll show you if your hashtag is good, poor, overused, etc. So that's on there too. Yeah.
Well, and that's so cool because if you are going to use an app like Plan or Planoly, this is a time-consuming thing to look up all these hashtags, but once you have them and you save them in the app, it's like no big thing. You make your post and then you just click add the hashtags for moms with tattoos, and bam, 30 hashtags are there. We've already researched it, and it's no big thing. Because if you are creating a lot of content, I mean, we're thinking maybe one Instagram post a day and maybe a couple stories. You don't want to be thinking about hashtags every time. So I really recommend getting these apps that will just make it quicker for you. Sorry, last thing I forgot to share, and then we'll end. If you are using stories, I hope you're using stories. Please, please, please use stories. Stories are amazing. Stories are everything, I think. Here are just a few ideas of what you can story: your workouts, your healthy meals, your outfits of the day, your family life, your coaching community, quotes that are inspiring you, or even if you find someone else's feed that has like a beautiful quote, you know, you can actually share that to your story. There's like a little paper airplane at the bottom of every Instagram post. And so let's say I go to Ioana's feed and I'm like, oh girl, that quote is so good. I can just click that little paper airplane and then this add post to story. And in my story, it'll show her post. It's really cool. So you can feature other people's posts, but people are finding value from your story, even though you're featuring someone else's post. So it's kind of cool. And then humor. Humor. Guys, be a goofball. If you have a good sense of humor, which probably you do, guys. I mean, come on. I don't know, like on Instagram, the feed, I feel like I have to be like cute and perfect and well-written and well-spoken and all the things. And in my stories, I'm just like silly at sometimes, or just real and like funny and having fun. Like, feel free to just be a goof and have, because I don't know about you guys, but when I follow someone on their stories, they're just all serious all the time. I'm just like, are you for real? Like, I don't know. I mean, that was a nice tip, Susan, but like, can you smile sometime? But if somebody is just having fun, I mean, guys, Gabby, we have the queen of like awesome stories right here. Go follow Gabby if you don't already. Just that energy, you just want to watch their stories. You just want to smile and have fun and see that what they're up to that day. So have fun with those stories, because that is such a trust building. Like, if somebody makes me laugh, I'm like, girl, talk to me all day. I don't even care. Like, so anyways, that's the last thing I wanted to share. I hope this is helpful for you guys to just think through your Instagram. There's so much we can do with it. I didn't even touch on Instagram Live or Instagram IGTV. I guess we'll just have to deal with that another day, but this is a great way to like just push everything together and connect with people, find people, get them to your application, get them into your DMs and all that good stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to